Hello, welcome to the TryLine podcast. I'm your host, Beau. This is my co-host, the so-called people's host, Denny. How you going, mate?
Yeah, mate, I'm not too bad. Just chilling. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Rumor has it there's a shirt with the people's host coming your way. Is that true? Can you confirm or deny that?
Um, I can confirm that it is coming. It's on the way. I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Big people's host on the
Yeah,
front.
people's host, and I heard you got a shirt coming too, mate.
Yeah, well, I don't have a nickname, all right? I do not have a nickname, so I just got the other guy. Just got the other guy. I felt like an idiot because my podcast, my rules. I don't get a nickname, but you get a nickname. The people's host. Don't know how that happened, but we live with it.
The people love me. That's why.
I know. What about the people loving me though? Where's my love? Where's my
You
respect and
you
admiration?
you have
Where's
to
it?
you have to give love to get love.
Okay.
It's a two-way street.
All right. I wanted to float the idea. A big weekend of footy. Obviously, we had a lot of suspensions, a lot of injuries, so that wasn't good. Uh, the Tommy Bra, the big man, he's gone down. He might not play again for the regular season. But I wanted to before we got into all that, I wanted to float you the idea of a summer league. Now we posted this on our Instagram. Feel Good talked about it last week. I really enjoyed the idea when I heard it. Now, the way that Feel Good said it should run is like we started in November, maybe December, play it till about the end of January, and it's just kind of in lieu of the state leagues and the under 20s competitions because obviously they've been cancelled, especially in New South Wales. They're canned for the whole year. I think Queensland is still going to run again. But I really like the idea of it for people that haven't played a lot of footy, people that maybe have been injured, people on the fringe of first grade that haven't played a lot of footy in the last 18 months. It'd be good to see them get a run, and also to see talent that we don't usually see out on the footy field. Maybe a person that's been stuck in the New South Wales Cup for a few years that we don't really know about. Maybe they get a run for a side and impress in that summer league, and then they get themselves a contract. So I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that would be a really good idea because you got teams with the best players in their positions. Obviously,
Mm.
the teams in their feeder clubs aren't gonna. Well, the players in their position, the same position, sorry, they're not going to really be able to get a run unless there's an injury. So
Well, you think
I like that
we
idea.
we wouldn't know about Nico Hines. Nico Hines has been around for a while.
Mm,
He's what is he, 26?
I think something around there.
Yeah, so he's been around for a while. Obviously in Melbourne system, maybe in other club systems, I'm not really sure. But someone might have seen him in a summer league and picked him up a couple of years back. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So there's people. I think Cody Walker wasn't picked up till late in his career too. I don't think he got a run at South until later in his career, and he's obviously having one of the best seasons of his life right now. So it'd be good to see what talent's out there, and clubs are desperate at the moment for some talent, and sometimes we don't see it until we see it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I thought it was a really good idea, and I just wanted a reason to put the logo that I made for it up on the screen. Anyway, you want to run us through some injuries, mate?
Right. So round 22 was actually a pretty big one for injuries. There's a few big names out, but we'll just start off with Dale Finucane, he copped a head knock. Jahrome Hughes, Andrew Fafita, Daniel Saifidi, Tommy Bra. God no,
Oh
Tommy
no!
Bra.
Oh no!
He'll be
Oh
gone
no!
for a couple of weeks. Brad Parker, Tom Starling, Jared Croker, Corey Allen, Jake Averillo, Nick Meaney, Andrew McCulloch, Billy Burns, Xavier Willison, Albert Kelly, Tyson Gamble, and Danny Levi. So
Sending my best to Andrew Fafita. He's in an induced coma right now, so hopefully he comes through that all right. He was having some breathing issues, so copped a shot to the throat or something. That's terrible.
yeah, no
Terrible.
good.
Anyway, some big suspensions out of that. Ryan Madison, Victor Radley, they're both gone. Tyson Gamble's also going to be out. Aiden Tolman, he's going to get a 2-game ban, but if he takes the early guilty plea, which most of them do, he'll get one. Tyson Frizzell's out. One that I wanted to talk to you about, Jerome Luai, careless high tackle, Nathan Cleary, dangerous contact.
Mm.
Nathan Cleary's been called a dangerous contact, not a shoulder charge. Any thoughts on that?
It was a shoulder charge, obviously.
Of course, it's a shoulder charge.
I don't know how they found a way around that one. Well, there's been a lot of talk going around about how Ravalawa earlier in the year got
Yeah.
suspended for however many games for similar tackles, and I think there's a lot of angry, not really angry, but
look, confused fans even.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand there wasn't a lot of force behind what Nathan Cleary did, but I thought that is the typical shoulder charge where you tuck your arm and you keep your shoulder close. And all this is all that contacted the attacker, which is a
Mm,
shoulder charge. Now, if you get charged with a shoulder charge, you have to miss games. I think it's minimum 2 weeks, 200 points. So you could take a early guilty plea, you get at least one game.
mm.
He obviously didn't get charged with that. He got dangerous contact, so he will not. He'll just cop a fine for that.
That's a stitch up.
Wasn't even a penalty.
I know. And that led to a Panthers try as well.
Mm. So I thought that was pretty silly, to be honest.
Mm.
Anyway, some other incidents over the weekend. The Harawira Nida one was pretty bad.
That was a real
Yeah,
bad one.
the send off.
Yeah.
He knew straight away too, and the way he acted, honestly, what a stand-up bloke. He apologized straight away. He was like inconsolable on the ground. Apparently, he put up a post. Maybe we'll have that on the screen. He said he was crying in the sheds afterwards. He's never been so disgusted in himself. He apologized. He didn't argue with the referee. He knew it was going to be a send-off. He apologized to the Storm boys and Jahrome as he's walking off. Jarome's come out and said, "Yeah, it's all sweet. It's all part of the game." But that one was one of the worst I've seen,
Oh, yeah. Not
especially
probably.
this year. Probably that and the what's his name, Terrell Fuimaono one on Pappenhausen. They've probably been the two worst ones.
How about Flegler on Zayo?
That was that was a send off too. That was definitely a send off. Now I know there's the next one you've had some thoughts on Ryan Madison.
Harsh.
I thought it was a
hold
send
on.
off.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah,
Okay.
go.
I made this argument the other day as well when we were talking about it. When you were saying it was fair, I thought it was harsh.
Mm,
So there's been two other instances this season, or in recent memory, that came to mind that were only 10 in the bins. So
okay.
there's a Zayo one, head
Yep.
eye, close to the line. It was in a try scoring opportunity as well. He gets sent for 10.
Yep.
Obviously, we both thought it should have been sent
Send off.
off,
Yeah, fair.
but
It
still,
wasn't.
it wasn't exactly. And then you got Talakai a few weeks ago on, I think it was Dury, back when they
Yeah,
played the Bulldogs the first
that was
time.
pre crackdown though.
But still, it was a shoulder charge that made contact with the head,
Yeah,
and he
and it
gets
was
sent for
sent in.
10 in the bin.
Okay,
So I just want a little bit of consistency. That's all.
I think you're arguing against the consistency, probably not against the result. Like, so you're saying if Talakai's was a send off, and and Flegler's
Flegler's
was a
one.
send off, you would have said yes, that's a send
Well, I
off.
wouldn't have argued the fact, but the
Yeah,
fact that they were both 10 in the bin for a similar, if not worse, um, incidents,
instance. Yeah.
then yeah, fine, so be it.
All
But it
right.
wasn't. That's the thing.
All
And
right.
Para were in the game. That cost them the game.
We'll get into Para later. They were really really poor. Uh, I just don't know what's going on there. I don't want to bash on Parramatta because I pretty much vented my frustration about that club to you on the weekend.
You did, yeah.
Like that's and the reason people don't understand the reason I am not happy with the way they're playing is because I think this side is a premiership winning side.
Mm.
I've heard people in the last couple of days come out and say, "Oh, well, it's not really that good a side." Side's good, nothing wrong with the team. Red Marnie's out at the moment; that's a huge out. But when they're all fit, I think it's a really, really good side.
Well, you think about it, there's not many teams that have a better spine than the Parramatta Eels. Like
I think, yeah,
they got well, Reed Marty's a fringe origin hooker.
yeah,
Clint Gutherson, fringe origin player as well. So is Mitch Moses, and then you got Dylan Brown, who's one of the best up and coming 5'8s.
yeah. And Clint Gutherson was 1 point away from Daly M last year.
Exactly.
Like, so he's 1 point away from being crowned the best player over the whole season. So,
Mm.
no, they're a very good side. That's probably why it's a little bit disappointing that. Anyway, let's get in the games.
Rightio, so the first game, Storm defeat the Raiders 26-16. Look, I thought the Raiders did all right in the second half here.
Yeah,
What was it, 20-6 at halftime? And then obviously discipline, the penalties killed them, the penalty goals.
yeah. They just couldn't. They couldn't hold the ball, and they just kept giving away penalties in the second half.
Yeah.
And it was kind of summed up their whole season. Really, that second half. It was a game they probably should have won in the end, probably had an opportunity to win. They exposed Melbourne down their right edge a few times there,
Mm,
which is good for the rest of the teams in the comp to see like a chink in their armor a little bit.
yeah.
Really worrying for the Storm because that's where Manly attack like the best. And Manly and South, they really attack down their left edge, probably better than anyone in the team in the competition. So, bit worrying signs for them, but Storm too good. Hold on.
Yeah, with that, I just want to talk about that Jahrome Hughes head eye. I think that he was going to be out for a considerable amount of time,
I reckon
at
too.
least the rest of the season, because obviously we saw what they did or how the Storm handled the Ryan Pappenhausen and Ned Knox.
Yeah,
He was out for what, like 10 weeks or something. I
yeah,
mean,
ages. He was out from Magic Round, so
yes, that was that round 10 to
round 10.
round like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So I can see him missing a few weeks. So
I like that though. They don't rush him back. There's
mm,
no need to rush him back at the moment. They're going to win the minor premiership anyway. So I read a quote from Munster this week that said it might be good for them to drop a game before the semis. He said just to get a little bit of desire back into them
mm,
because
yeah,
they haven't been as dominant in the last 5 weeks as they were for a while before that. They're still winning games, but they had the Cowboys game where they were like touch and go with them. They just
mm.
had the Raiders game. I swear there was another game in there
Was it Roosters?
that they maybe they still won, but they were just on the cusp. Let's have a look. So they've had the Raiders, then they had Manly, who they didn't really blow away. They had the Cowboys, and I think they end up getting away from the Panthers late. The Panthers started all right in that game. So just a little bit of a month where they haven't dominated every team. They're still winning though.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Oh well, yeah, maybe it might be good for them to draw a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, next game, Panthers defeat the Dragons 34 points to 16. Nathan Cleary made his return in this one.
Mm.
He looked a little bit rusty, but he looked good.
They're a different side with him in the side, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Dragons were okay, but that barbecue has just killed their whole season. They just can't win. They haven't won since.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
I thought they were doing all right in the first 20 or so minutes in
yeah.
this game, and then yeah,
You
I don't know
see the Corey Norman thing, Fox Sports?
what happened.
Idiots. They put up this thing. You know how everyone claims to be about players' mental health and you're calling out people. Fox Sports put like a collage of all the comments, Slim and Corey Norman from that
Oh,
game,
I did
and
see that
posted
one.
it and say someone got roasted tonight.
I saw
You
that.
idiots!
Yeah,
And then they got so much bad feedback from that, and they ended up deleting it. The Players Association released a press release on that, and it just got smashed. They got smashed everywhere. So you idiots, you absolute peanuts.
yeah. They're always doing something.
They're always hiding behind their staff writers too.
Mm,
Idiots. I can't stand them. They were giving it to Latrell, and people just got fed up with it. Now they just try and give it to Corey Norman. He knows he didn't have a great game. Who cares?
yeah.
Grow up. I can't stand him.
Anyway,
Mm.
on to the next. Roosters defeat the Broncos 21 points to 20.
Someone would have loved that anyway.
What?
No, there was a comment last week. My favorite thing is when Denny just zones out when you're talking and then just says, anyway. It's good. Great finish to this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyway,
go.
this was a controversial win for the Roosters here. The penalty from Flegler, sorry, on Satili Tupanua. It's
Yep.
probably as soft as I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah, it
just
was soft. It was soft.
what's
It
funny
was.
now? What's
No, it
funny
just.
now?
I thought it was soft. I didn't like how they dropped the ball and then could go. They challenged the knock on, but they went back to the start of the play. Like, so how long before we see like a head high the tackle before and we check that? And then, let's just check the whole set. You know what I mean? How far can we go back?
I think you only go back from that play. I think the reason they were able to go back to that thingy, well, the commentators are saying, is because he knocked the ball on before he played the ball. So
Mm,
that's a continuation from the play before.
mm. Yeah, I didn't like that. But what'd you make of the penalty on Victor Radley, the charge down?
It's fair. Can't attack and kick his legs. So
How do you
that
charge the ball down if you're not gonna be at that level though?
you don't go for the legs, you go for the ball. I know
He
you
went
keep.
for the ball.
I
He
know,
played at the ball.
but like it's the same with head highs. You're not going to take their head off.
Yeah.
It's accidental.
But
but it's
what
still a
I'm saying is,
penalty.
how do you charge the ball down any other way
Well, obviously they
than
kick,
what he tried to?
so you don't actually go for where the ball is. You're going to go for where the ball's going.
But so he dived at it, right? So he can't leave his feet. Is that what you're saying?
What do you
Because
mean?
that's the reason he dives at him, leaves his feet, and then he takes his feet out.
No, 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 no. Okay, so what I'm saying is, like you're allowed to leave your feet, but you don't make contact with the legs.
I thought
You
he
can
committed
chart. You
to the
can
charge
chart.
down.
Yeah, I know he committed, and that's where he went wrong.
So don't commit.
Well, you can commit, but you can't get it wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that. I think you can't take the legs out. We saw that it was the famous match, the Bulldogs and the Rabbitohs, that Anzac Day clash, Good Friday clash it was, and the penalty in front of the post. I don't know about a penalty in front of the post for that either.
No, I think it's penalty from where it happened.
I think it should be from where it happened,
But
but it's
that's a fair penalty. Don't
yeah,
don't
okay.
take out the legs. Like you can charge the ball down.
You also can't make contact with the head, so the other penalty's fair as well. True.
Well, it's soft, but
Anyway, it was a fun game. It was good to see like a competitive kind of Friday night. Both games were relatively competitive, which was good.
yeah,
Broncos are finding a little bit of form there.
I was actually going to say a little bit more. I thought the Broncos were they're the only reason they lost that game.
Well, no, I said to someone in the comments on Instagram, I thought the Broncos were the better side.
Well, they were, apart from that
Yeah,
last 5 minutes or so when who was it? Corey Yates. I think it was the second tackle.
Hmm.
Takes just one up off the ruck, drops it cold.
he's
But
he's he loves an error.
he
Corey
does.
Oates.
He does. He
Yeah,
does, man. He's good for at least one error. They should have
Have-
a sports bet market. Corey Yates errors over under.
over under
Over
40.
under 1.5.
How good's Payne Haas? Payne Haas was outstanding in this one again. He's had just a huge year. Absolute shoe in for prop of the year, I reckon.
100%. He's for how big and he did his knee what before Origin.
Yeah,
How and he's supposed to be out for however long, 2 weeks, and he's played through the whole thing. He's just
he's just a gun.
he's a different breed, mate.
I can't believe he's only run for 100 meters in this one.
Really?
That's what I just said. I just had a look. It was only 100 meters. He was good. He scored a try. Absolute gun. Great game.
Yeah, awesome for him. On to the next. Bunnies defeat the Titans 36 points to 6.
Anyone think the Titans are contenders or
No,
no? I've been saying this for 6 weeks.
I don't think
They
they'll
do.
even make the 8.
Yeah, well, I don't have them in my eight. They beat sides that aren't good, and then they come up against a good side. Like the Rabbitohs are playing really good footy right now. 36-6. That's game over. The Titans just aren't good enough right now.
Yeah, yeah, never in doubt. That left edge for the Bunnies, man. No, it
Disgusting.
doesn't matter who's on that left edge. Alex Johnson, Dangai Guy, Josh Mansour, Braden Burns, they're scoring tries.
I'll tell you the only person that matters on that left edge is Cody Walker.
Mm,
If Cody Walker's there, they're scoring points. He's almost one of the best players in the competition when the game is going well for him.
on the front
When
foot.
when they're on the front foot, he's so silky, talented. It's really good to watch. But the Titans just aren't a good side.
Yeah. I thought Latrell had a good game as well.
Yeah, gun.
Latrell, I think it's crazy to think that the amount of good fullbacks we have in the
Yeah.
game right now. Like you think
Yeah,
about
it's
it,
not
you got Ponga, Tedesco, Turbo. I'm going to put Clint Gutherson there.
yeah.
King Gutho. I mean, Will Kennedy's a good fullback.
Yeah, Dylan Edwards,
Dylan Edwards, he's underrated. Valentine Holmes,
AJ Brimson.
AJ Brimson,
Yeah.
Pappenhausen, Nico Hines.
Oh, Pappenhausen, Nico Hines, yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
You got all those good fullbacks, but you look back maybe what 10, 12 years ago. I can only
It's
think
all
of
halfbacks, really.
I can only think of what Jared Hayne, Billy Slater, and maybe Ben Barber, and Brett
Mm.
Stewart maybe.
Yeah, Brett Stewart. Yeah, I'd throw Brett Stewart in there.
Those are
Probably
probably
Minicello.
miniature. So
Yeah.
yeah, easily.
Well,
There's
we've got this many great fullbacks in a year. That's over like a decade. You know what I mean? Yeah,
mm,
exactly.
yeah. So I think it's absolutely crazy to think that they're all playing at the same time.
Do you think Pappenhausen still looks a little bit hesitant on the field?
I don't think he's the same player as he was at the start of the year. At the start of the year, he was on fire.
I think he's just like not looking for contact as much as he was. Not, and it's understandable. He copped a really heavy knock. He had headaches for weeks and weeks. He said so. He just seems a little bit hesitant still.
Yeah, well,
But
hopefully he can get back to his best, so
yeah,
we can see him score 4 tries in what 11 minutes.
yeah, gun.
That's crazy. Anyway, Tigers defeat the Cowboys 24 points to 16. Um,
Mm,
this was this was a pretty close game, despite it being an 8 point difference. The Cowboys were seeming to be coming home towards the end there, that last 10 or so
mm.
minutes.
Too little, too late. It's happened a lot of time to them.
Yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
times.
Yeah. I thought the Tigers, the outside backs in this one, were a lot better than previous weeks, especially Tommy Talau. I gave him a lot of stick at the beginning of the year, saying he'd make a lot of errors. He wasn't
Mm,
a tough player to get them out of trouble, but I think he really he kind of made a difference in this one,
okay.
getting out of their own end, getting them out of trouble. I thought he took those tough runs. He bent the line a few times, broke it. I don't know. I thought he did really well.
It's been a real disappointing year for the Cowboys. Been a really hard year to watch, to be honest. The more things change, the more things stay the same for that club. It's like they bring in a new half. They bring in a new coach, and it's the same reasons we get beat all the time. Like our defense around the ruck is atrocious. It has been for years. Our ability to control the ruck is worse than it's ever been.
Hmm.
Like and this is a team, and this is a game that we can win. And we've had everything go our way this year. Like everyone's had to move because COVID and all this. We've really been like in Townsville pretty much all year.
Yeah.
Most of our games have been at home. We've had great preparation pretty much all year. These are games that we can and should be winning. It's really hard to watch, and we probably haven't copped as much criticism because we've sat in the same spot all year. We've sat in 14th, and no one's really expected anything of us. But Cowboys fans expect to be playing finals football. Like we had a great run where we played finals almost every year, and we're competitive in finals series almost every
Yeah.
year. I think we missed the finals once in like 6 years or something from 2013 to 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so
I was going to say, I think maybe a lot of that might be because you've lost like a great forward pack. Like you had Matt Scott, James
yeah,
Tarmo. I mean, Jason Tamalolo has had an off year this year, but you had those three guys kind of leading up the middle, and then
yeah.
it's a lot easier for your halves to play off the back of that. I think with the forwards you got now, what you got, Cohen Hess, Jordan
Who's
McLean.
both been patchy. Jordan McLean's had a real. He's not played good footy since he's come to the Cowboys from Melbourne.
Mm.
I don't
And,
think.
and I don't even know who the other starting front row for the Cowboys is.
Yeah, so we got Francis Molo, who's had a good year, for his standards, but he's going to the Dragons next year. We let go of Josh Maguire, who I don't really mind, and I wouldn't have minded to see him hang around.
Mm.
Jason Taumalolo has not had a great year. I don't know, it's really really hard to watch. I don't even get excited to sit down and watch a game anymore.
Mm.
It's hard.
Mate, I feel you. Talking about games, I don't want to sit down and watch. Manly defeat the Eels 56 points to 10.
Denny, how many seconds of this game did you watch, mate?
I reckon I watched less than 5 minutes. I turned the game on late. It was 10-0.
Yep.
And
Walk us through it. Walk
okay,
us through it.
so what was I doing? I think I was playing some Xbox or watching Netflix or something. I don't really remember.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, hold on. Paragame's on. Turn on the TV. It's 10-0. I'm like, hold on. There's still time. We can still come back. And then Manly score one try. So it's, what is it, 16-0, I think now. I'm like, all right, well, we're getting pretty close. I think it was about 5 minutes later, they score a second try. And I was like, yeah, no, turn it
That's it.
off. That's it.
Game over.
Yeah, game over. I'm done. And then I just went back to watching Netflix or something.
Well, I'll have you know, Manly went on to score, I think, another 6 tries after that. End up winning 56-10. The scoreline blew out a little bit at the end because I think they had a player in the bin and a player sent off at the same time. So it was like 13-11, but the game was already over. Absolute masterclass here from Tom Trbojevic. Ruben Garrick scored a bag. I don't know where the Eels are at. I don't know what's doing.
Yeah, no,
I tell
they're
you what,
done.
it's exposed Sivo a lot. And we've sat here a lot of times and talked about left wingers. Don't get too excited about left wingers. There are good ones, but a lot of the top try scorers are left wingers because that's where a lot of teams go. All right,
Mm,
Sivo, yes, he's an okay finisher, but he's not a good player. I don't think he's very good at all.
no.
It's
Get
almost
Madraja back. Bring him back.
see he was a different beast,
He
but
was awesome.
Sivo's a finisher. And that's what he is.
Oh,
Are they gone? Absolutely gone, or what?
yeah, they're gone. They're gone.
They're probably
They've been gone.
they probably got to play the Knights in a semi-final week 1.
I think the Knights will beat them.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys will beat them this week too.
No, Cowboys won't be winning. Cowboys won't win again this year.
I'll make a bet that the Cowboys will win. We'll bet on each other's teams.
Okay,
Should we do that?
I'll bet on the Eels. You
All
bet on
right,
the
I'll bet on the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Done.
Right, yeah. The Warriors defeat the Bulldogs in the next one, 24 points to 10.
Good game.
Yes, great game. Well, I thought these last Sunday games were really good.
Yeah.
Warriors, Bulldogs. I mean, yeah, Warriors looked all right. Josh Curran, I think, had an awesome game. Like
How good is he?
to replace Tohu,
Oh.
to have him come in and replace Tohu, man, I think he does. He does a lot of the same things as Tohu does.
And it's good for them going forward too, with Tohu Harris and him. Like Josh Curran's a starter. He's playing so well.
Yeah,
The Bulldogs, I just don't know. They were okay, but they just lack class. They even when they get themselves into a game, you're not too worried about them. You know what I mean? And I felt
yeah.
that from the Warriors. I felt like they always thought they could win the game. It was good for the Warriors. They've won 3 in a row. They haven't won 3 in a row since 2018.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I think they won 4 in a row that year too. And the Broncos broke their streak, and they're playing the Broncos this week. So the Broncos beat the Warriors this week at $2. It'll be on the screen. Get on it. It's an omen bet. You heard it here first.
I'll still back the Warriors in, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah. With the Bulldogs, there's really not much to say about their games. Like the back end of this year,
You don't expect them to win.
yeah, exactly. I think they'll do a lot better next season once they get all the signings and all that. But yeah, I think they'll be happy to see the end of the season.
Yep.
I
really like the look of this stadium. Did you notice the stadium that Moreton Daily or whatever? It had it was like a leagues club type feel. It had like a balcony where people were sitting and like eating and watching the game and stuff. It was cool.
When I watch a game of footy, I don't look at the stadium, mate.
Well, mate, I try and become engrossed in the whole aspect, every aspect of the game. So the stadium, the lights, the cameras, the action, everything.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway.
Maybe that's what we should have put on the shirt.
Yeah. Anyway. Knights defeat the Sharks 16 points to 14. And as I say again, another quality game. I really enjoy the games where it's tight, low scoring, could go either way. Apart from when my team's playing, the Parramatta Eels, I love it when they blow teams out.
Yeah, they do blow teams. They're the third best defensive team. Do you know that still? They're the third best defensive team in the comp. Anyway,
Para.
Yeah, Para literally are. They're the third best defensive team in the comp still.
That's how good we are.
With that 50-point grubbing.
That's the only reason that we're losing is because what Cam Munster said, to get that fire back. We're losing all these games to
Just building up the fire.
Yeah, building up the fire for finals, and then once we get to the finals, we blow everyone out of the water.
Just week one, you just blow up. You play week one out. You put 60 on the Knights in week one, and then the fire's out. You lose next week. Is there a luckier winger in the comp than Tawala playing outside Brandman Best?
Whoever's the left winger on the Bunnies.
Whoever's pulling on that jersey that week.
Yeah,
I guess.
But yeah, nuts.
No, it's good. The Sharks probably should have won this game. I thought.
What was it? I don't think the Knights. They didn't score a try in the second half, did they? Or penalty goals.
No, and the Sharks had all the ball in that first half too. I think the Knights scored inside the first minute, and then the Sharks had all the ball the rest of the half. And they only managed 2 tries. The second half was outstanding. It was like 6-0 second half.
Was it?
I think so.
I don't think so. What was it? 6 all, was it?
No, 8-2 second half. That's what it was.
8-2. Wow.
8-2. Great. Yeah, really good game. I enjoyed it. Great double header for Redcliffe. The beautiful stadium up there.
No one cares about the stadium.
I do. I thought the stadium was good. I tweeted about it. Okay, I shouldn't have tweeted it.
No, you shouldn't tweet about the stadium. What was the tweet?
Give us a sec. Let me work through that. I'll find the tweet.
I don't think.
Talk about something.
All right. Well,
talk about something while I find the tweet.
All right, I'll talk about something. Anyone collects NBA rookie cards? Anything like that? You want to buy some? I got a bunch of cards. Yourself, I'll be promoting myself. I got a bunch of rookie cards. Hit me up. I've probably won't sell you the good ones, but I got a few shit rookies around.
Well, you don't say that either. You're saying I got really good rookies. No one's talking about them. I'm selling them.
Oh yeah,
Also, to finish off this episode, the tweet will be on the screen. It was a great tweet. Love the look of this stadium with that emoji.
end it,
Thoughts? And
end it.
thanks, guys.